Saying hello at Bloor and St. George. This is Citytv. Everywhere.
Hey, Mom. Tonight, struck by lightning.
Tonight, Terry's Run.
Tonight, tied again.
Here's the latest from the City Post News Team. The weekend edition of City Post Tonight with Thalia Assuris.
Good evening. A vicious thunderstorm has taken its toll in Metro tonight. A 17-year-old Rexdale boy is clinging to life in the hospital for sick children after being struck by lightning after a baseball game.
Okay, get out of the way, guys.
My back was turned, but I could hear the lightning like it was right beside me. It was really loud, and you could smell it. You could smell the smoke, and we just looked around, and he was just lying out unconscious on the field.
One kid's getting a bike. It was about to leave, and I just saw a big light hit him and fall on the ground.
We all ran over, and I knew there's nothing we could do right there, so I ran home to phone the ambulance and the police.
Police say Alpha Chan wasn't breathing when emergency crews arrived at Islington Park. After performing CPR, they revived him and rushed him to Etobicoke General Hospital. He remains in critical condition tonight. The late afternoon storm also knocked out power and phone lines in some parts of Metro. Meanwhile, several people were injured tonight as strong winds and rain devastated a trailer camp south of Orillia. Provincial police say 7 trailers were damaged. One person was rushed to hospital and another was treated at the scene.
Oh, that's the bed.
You couldn't see anything. All you could hear was this roar.
What was it?
I'm saying it was a tornado, a small tornado.
It started to rain pretty hard, blow, and then hail, and then couldn't even see the little trailer next door. The trailer lifted a little bit. A couple of seconds later, it went up about halfway over and then lifted again and went around to the roof. It was a real mess.
Environment officials may travel to the site tomorrow to determine if a tornado was to blame. Environment specialist Judy Halliday is standing by now live on Queen Street. Judy, some violent weather today. What happened?
Well, Thalia, several areas of thunderstorms were formed over southern Ontario as a cold front moved into our region. When the cold air meets the warm air is forced up very, very quickly, and thunderstorms are the result. The fact that it was afternoon and the air had been heated all day by the sun made the air even more unstable. The storms have moved off now with the front and are now over eastern Ontario. For most of the day, the weather was fine, which ensured a great turnout for the 7th annual Terry Fox Run. People of all ages walked, wheeled, ran to raise money for cancer research.
There's 2 of us.
Is that thing working?
Yeah. We are really delighted. From the runs that we have heard from, we are 28% ahead of what we raised last year. And it seems that we will have no trouble at all reaching our goal of $1.5 million. We have 80,000 wonderful people running in Ontario for the Terry Fox Run.
You made it? Yeah. Across the country, 370,000 people took part to further Terry Fox's dream of finding a cure. Earlier today, I visited a North York hospital where residents also participated in the event. It is a long-term care hospital for physically disabled children and adults. The residents suffer from things like spina bifida, muscular dystrophy, and cerebral palsy. Today, 25 of the residents, ranging in age from 12 to 19, are swimming a total of 10 kilometers, or 924 laps, in a swim-a-thon for the Terry Fox Fund.
I wanted to take part because I've been inspired by Terry Fox Street Fund Run with Cancer, because they raise money for various things.
Why did you want to be part of the Terry Fox Run, Walk, Jog, Bike, Wheel, and Ride?
Because it proves that people in wheelchairs can do more than just sit around.
Each team member swims as many laps as they can to contribute to the final goal. Brian intends to swim 30 laps, and Jennifer has set a goal of 50.
A couple of years ago, they decided that they wanted to do something in the Terry Fox event. So they decided to have a swim. And what they do is they work as a team towards a goal, like Terry Fox did. And together, they reach that goal every year, and they go out and they collect all the sponsors and raise all the money all themselves.
Last year, the Swimathon raised about $1,000. This year, the swimmers hope to top that. All of the proceeds go to the Canadian Cancer Society for cancer research. After just 2 hours of swimming, the team had completed 700 laps. Just another 224 to go. Judy Halliday for City Pulse Tonight.
For the second day in a row, potential purchasers lined up to buy Canada homes in Markham today. This time, though, extra policemen were on hand, preventing a repeat of yesterday's crunch.
Get back!
350 homes were snapped up in 90 minutes yesterday. Business was brisk again today, but no incidents were reported. Meanwhile, in Brampton, homebuyers there staged a protest for the third time this year. They say the home builder has misled them, and they're threatening legal action. The company is preparing to do the same. The battle centers around a sound barrier, which the homeowners say eats up more than half of some backyards on the property sold for between $155,000 and $220,000 last year.
We wanted to put possibly a small deck. We wanted to put a kidney-shaped pool in and flower beds. We wanted to use our backyards. 21 feet is unacceptable. You know, we only want what we bought, and we bought a 38-foot backyard with a slight incline of up to 3 feet.
Our company did not misrepresent this situation. We prepared the berm prior to the people buying the homes.
Giannoni also says other homes in the subdivision without sound barriers have backyards of similar size. Still, after a protest on July 11th and mediation by the city, he offered to extend the complainants' yards. They rejected that offer, and some are now threatening a class action suit claiming misrepresentation.
The city of Brampton minimum backyard requirement is 25 feet. So our offer superseded what the minimum requirements are. We're going to be suing every single one of those people out there. All right, specifically on the infringement on our right to do business, because the comments they're making are inaccurate.
Frustrated over a breakdown in negotiations, striking Etobicoke Hydro workers picketed the home of that city's mayor. The 70 workers have been off the job for 7 weeks over the Hydro Commission's demand that they take an 8% reduction in wages.
The longer we're out here, the more angry we get, and we'd like to get back to work.
Yeah.
Because 7 weeks without pay is a long time.
You're not kidding. All right, I'll assure them you're sincere in your efforts and want to get back to the negotiation, or, the mediation process. Yeah. And what else can you do?
We got the message through to him to intervene anyway and chase our upper management to get back to the table.
If negotiations do resume, it'll be the first time in more than 2 weeks.
And we have to get that
A strike at Chrysler Canada appears inevitable tonight. This from Canadian Auto Workers Chief Bob White. The union boss says even if the company presents a new proposal tonight, there won't be enough time to work out details. 10,000 workers in Windsor, Ajax, and Etobicoke are set to walk out tomorrow at midnight. Protecting the auto pact will be a main concern of Premier David Peterson at tomorrow's First Minister's meeting on free trade negotiations. Armed with his landslide victory at the polls, Peterson's expected to highlight his 6 conditions for a free trade deal. Soviet Foreign Minister Eduard Shevardnadze is in the U.S. tonight. On his arrival in Washington today, Shevardnadze said a superpower summit will depend on this week's arms control talks. He will meet with U.S. Secretary of State George Shultz and President Reagan. Shevardnadze brought with him a degree of optimism and a letter for Reagan from Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. Pope John Paul continued his U.S. tour in the predominantly Hispanic city of San Antonio, Texas today. An estimated 300,000 people turned out for a mass given by the pontiff under a scorching sun. He praised the courage and generosity of those who help Latin American immigrants in the U.S. For a look at the forecast now, let's go back to Queen Street and Environment Specialist Judy Halliday. Judy?
Thanks, Thalia. Boy, has the air mass ever changed. It's really cool out here. We're certainly on the cool side of the front. But right now, let's go to the current conditions. Out here on Queen Street West, the temperature is only 16 degrees. The wind is now coming from the west-northwest at 11 kilometers per hour, so it shifted right around. The relative humidity is 70%, so it is much drier out here. And the pollution count is only 10. Anything under 32 is considered acceptable. The barometer is at 101.3 kilopascals and rising. Right now, let's go to a shot from our live eye camera in Chinatown, and some people walking around enjoying this cool night. Let's go to the sun times. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:56 a.m. and set at 7:32, giving us 12 hours and 36 minutes of daylight. As far as the temperatures are concerned, today's high was 23 degrees. The normal for this time of year is only a degree below that. The record set 35 years ago on this date was 35. Really balmy day that day. The low tonight will be 13, which is 3 degrees above normal for this time of year. The record is 2, and it was set 23 years ago. The hot spot in Canada today, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan at 29, and the cold spot was Eureka in the Northwest Territories at -8. To find out what's happening for tomorrow and the rest of the week, let's go to our Teledon computer weather graphics. For the rest of this evening, it'll be partly cloudy with fog patches. The chance of showers is now over, now that the cold front has passed through and it dragged the rain with us. So tomorrow should be a lovely day. It will begin partly cloudy with some fog patches, but it will develop into a mainly sunny day, and it'll be much drier and cooler than it was today. The high will be 22. Tuesday will also be a lovely day, very sunny and a high of 22. Wednesday we'll get a few clouds. On Thursday it'll be very cloudy and there is a chance of shower, and the temperature will drop by 1 degree. On Friday we'll go back to some sun, a partly cloudy skies, and again a high of 21. So sure enough, the beginning of the week is going to be a nice day. Everybody goes back to work under the sun. That's it for the City Pulse forecast. Up next, what's ahead on entertainment?
Thanks, I'm John Burgess, and coming up on entertainment, the latest developments in the Peter Tosh murder case.